Hello and welcome to Treetops Raceway Park, home of the crossover. Today will be the last 3 heats of the Triple Track Challenge Tooned Edition on the road race course. Here are the current points as they sit today. Remember, only the top 16 will move on to the rally track. Here are the rules that we are running for this race. 4 points for the furthest, third, or 3 points for second furthest, and so forth, and you get 1 point extra if you cross the line. And now for Heat 5 introductions. We start off with Mad Mike from Madman Racing in the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR, and then Bolo Brown from Miniature Car Racing in the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. Dutch Vanderschiff from Dutch Clutch Racing in a Nissan Skyline, and then Roscoe from Johnson Family Racing in a 94 Toyota Supra. And let's jump right into lap 1 and let the action begin. You got Mad Mike and Bolo Brown on the front row, and they're off. And it looks like Mad Mike is going to have the whole time. He does, followed by Dutch, and Bolo Brown, and then Roscoe, and we have some banging on the road. Looks like Roscoe and Bolo Brown are stuck. Mad Mike is leading Dutch Clutch. Dutch stalls out right there. Mad Mike will come down. Will he make it to the finish? No! He spins out on the final straightaway. Right here you see Dutch Clutch hit the wall, spins, then he gets hit by Bolo Brown, then Roscoe comes in and gives him a whack. Mad Mike does a spin around. Right there you can see Roscoe and Bolo stopped in the corner. Dutch tries to get by Mad Mike and just can't make it stick. He gets a run here. He hits and spins and stops. And Mad Mike starts coming around the corner and slides out and comes to a stop. But you have Mad Mike with first, Dutch Clutch with second, Roscoe with third, and Bolo with fourth. So that makes the points look like this. And now we'll move into lap 2. You're going to start out with Mad Mike and Dutch Vanderschiff on the front row, and they're off. The Dutch is going to get the whole shot. He does, followed by Mad Mike, and there's a crash. Roscoe and Bolo Brown are into it again. Right there you see Mad Mike comes off the track. And Dutch Clutch, oh, he spins out and loses it. Here you can see Roscoe gets sideways and allows Bolo Brown to come in and hit him. And you can see Mad Mike go off the track right there, get into the infield as Dutch heads down the track solo. And he had trouble with this section on the last lap and does again. So Dutch will have first place, Mad Mike was second, Roscoe with third, and Roscoe and Bolo got going again after their first initial stall. And Bolo Brown gets fourth. So now we have Dutch and Mad Mike tied with 7, Roscoe with 4, and Bolo with 2. Lap 3. Now we have Roscoe and Dutch in the front row, and they're off. Oh! Nice pass from Roscoe, gets around Bolo Brown. They spin out, all of them spin out. Roscoe gets a push from Mad Mike, gets by Bolo Brown, cuts off Bolo Brown, which causes him to get sideways. And you see Mad Mike get around the outside of Bolo Brown. Dutch spins, so we have Dutch in first, Roscoe second, Mad Mike third, Bolo Brown in fourth. Now it'll take Dutch Vanderschiff to 11 points, Mad Mike with 9, Roscoe with 7, and Bolo Brown with 3. Lap 4. This will put Roscoe and Bolo Brown in the front row. And they're off. Bolo Brown's got a nice head of steam. One shot. But Mad Mike tries to get around the outside. Can't. Roscoe gives him a tap. Oh, there's another tap. Bolo Brown gets spun and stops Dutch. Mad Mike gets on the outside, but Roscoe gives Bolo Brown a nice little bump. Dutch gives Roscoe a bump. Come around. He almost lost Mad Mike over the wall. But Bolo Brown will get first, followed by Dutch Vanderschiff. And then we will have Mad Mike and Roscoe. And I love that paint job on Roscoe's. So this group, Dutch Vanderschiff gets 14, Mad Mike with 11, Roscoe with 8, and Bolo Brown gets 7. Now we'll move in to Heat 6. We got Sneaky Bob from Vapor Diecast Racing in a 94 Toyota Supra. We got Joe Tang from Joe Tang Racing in a Mazda RX-3. Stray Dog from Kamikaze Racing in a Mazda RX-3. And Scotty from Neko Racing in a Porsche 911 Turbo. We'll jump into lap 1, which will see Joe Tang and Sneaky Bob on the front row. And they're off. So Sneaky Bob has a hole shot. He does. He's followed by Stray Dog. You see Sneaky Bob spins and is going backward. He stalls out. Ooh, here comes Stray Dog. He gets by him. See Sneaky Bob getting pushed by Stray Dog. You got Scotty and Joe Tang back there banging around until they get stuck. Sneaky Bob spun, but you can see Stray Dog just slowly coming around that corner. And right here you see Sneaky Bob slide to a halt. And here comes Stray Dog. Sneaky hard enough to push him out of the way. Gets by and cuts him off. And then Sneaky Bob sneaks by him again. But Sneaky Bob will get first, Stray Dog gets second, then Joe Tang and Scotty. Let's move right into lap 2. You got Sneaky Bob and Stray Dog in the front row. Stray Dog has one heck of a hole shot. Sneaky Bob gets on the inside of Scotty. Scotty gets by. Scotty hits the back of Stray Dog. Scotty spins out. Stray Dog is going down pretty good. And I have to apologize. I lost the finish line camera. See what happened to Scotty. He just spun coming out of the turn. Here comes Joe Tang into the corner. He stalls out into the corner. Stray Dog did not make it around the second to the last turn, but he will finish first. Then Scotty, then Joe Tang, and Sneaky Bob is up somewhere up top. Well, there he is, hiding behind the Baja Blazer, the Baja van. So now, Stray Dog ends up with 7, Sneaky Bob with 5, Joe Tang and Scotty are tied for 4. Lap 3. You've got Scotty and Stray Dog in the front row. They're off. Sneaky Bob pushing Stray Dog. Oh, Scotty gets off track. Sneaky Bob and Stray Dog are banging into each other. Sneaky Bob's still going. Looks like he got hit by Joe Tang. Oh, Stray Dog just lost it. And here comes Sneaky Bob by to take first place. And he will stall out right there. Right here you see what happened with Scotty. He got off the track, jumped the rail, and then got pushed off the track. So Sneaky Bob gets first. And Stray Dog barely edges out Joe Tang, and then Scotty. So now that puts Stray Dog to 10, Sneaky Bob with 9, Joe Tang with 6, and Scotty with 5. So lap 4. This will put Scotty and Joe Tang in the front row. They're off. Scotty's gonna hold the motion, followed by Stray Dog. Oh, Sneaky Bob spins out up top. Everybody spins out. You got Stray Dog, Scotty, and then Joe Tang, and then Sneaky Bob. So Stray Dog wins the group with 14, Sneaky Bob with 10, and then Joe Tang and Scotty tie with 8. And let's move on with the final group. Heat 7. Here we start out with Deacon from Rabbit Badger Racing in a Mazda RX-3. And then Coots from Bent Rod Racing in a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. And Laro from 409 Diecast in a Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. And Crazy Canuck from the A-Team in a Chevy tow truck. And here we go for lap 1. We'll have Deacon and Coots on the front row. And they're off. It looks like Deacon is going to pull the whole shot. He does. Followed by Laro. Here's some banging. Laro gets pushed off the track. Deacon is going down pretty good. He has enough speed that looks like he's going to make that turn. Coots and Crazy Canuck all go down in there, and we get a finisher. Deacon finishes, and somehow Crazy Canuck got in front of him, or in front of Coots. There you see Coots is spun out over where the finish line cam normally would be. Right there you see Laro going off track. So Deacon is the first one today to get a finishing point. So he gets 5 points for first. Lap 2. This puts Deacon and Laro in the front row. And they're off. Laro has a whole shot here. He does pull it, followed by Deacon, then Crazy Canuck. So we have some crashing going on up there. Laro spins out, so Laro will have first. Then we have Deacon, Crazy Canuck, and Coots. So Deacon has 8, Laro and Crazy Canuck tied at 5, and Coots has 3. Lap 3. We have Crazy Canuck and Laro in the front row. You're off. Crazy Canuck and Laro are fighting for that whole shot. Laro will get it. Followed by Crazy Canuck. Deacon tries to get by Canuck, but gets spun. Laro will go down by himself. Makes it through that turn. Makes it through there and starts heading toward the final turn. Here you see Crazy Canuck spins right in front of the camera. And here I finally got my camera working again. but Laro loses it in the final turn. There you see Crazy Canuck stall out. I use a single remote to run all my cameras, and they got out of sync, so one of them would turn off while the other turned on. Now you have Deacon with 10, Laro with 9, Crazy Canuck with 8, and Cooch with 4, with 1 lap to go. You have Crazy Canuck and Cooch in the front row. They're off. Cooch has a nice run. With Crazy Canuck and Laro, and they all spin. Oh! Laro gets one more spot. So you have Cooch, Deacon, Laro, and Crazy Canuck. So now Deacon will end up with 13, Laro with 11, Crazy Canuck with 9, and Cooch with 8. That is the end of the road race portion. Here are the final points. Top 16 move on. So Numbskull, Uncle Elvis, Arlo, Puff, Iceman, Sinestro, Dusty Miles, Dutch Vandershift, Stray Dog, Deacon, Carry Momentum, Mad Mike, Laro, Sneaky Bob, John Cole, and J-Bo. Please like and subscribe and share this video if you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching.